Hey guys. Hey everyone.
What up?
What up? Welcome back to the All About the Tea channel. I'm your girl Monica, along with my fabulous co-host, the man with the master plan that gets the party started, Mr. DJ Richie Sky.
Hey.
The hilarious Amir, yes.
Hi, y'all. Richie, you took the tie-dye, honey. You took a note from my closet.
I want to be festive today.
I love it.
And today we have a special guest who I am super excited about, YouTube extraordinaire and actor, Mr. Funky Dineva.
Hey, y'all. Thank you so much for having me, Monica. I'm so excited.
I'm so excited too. Hey guys, so Monique Kelly, the beautiful Monique Kelly, is appearing on the Tamron Hall show tomorrow. You guys need to make sure you check that out at 3 p.m. Eastern. So today she had to do.
Who the hell is Monique Kelly?
She is one of our panelists, and she's an author. She's a TV host.
I thought you were talking about Monique from the Real Housewives of Potomac. That's why I was thrown. I am so sorry. I was like, I didn't mean no disrespect to Monique, because when you said it earlier, I'm thinking Candiace, Monique, and that Monique was going to be on Tamron. My bad.
That's okay.
You were like, who is she? Who is she?
Is she on this panel? Yeah, no. Monique Kelly, she's one of our panelists. So she's doing some prep work today, guys, and she won't be able to make it. And in addition to that, I have some wonderful news. Mrs. Buffy Purcell is joining the panel permanently. She's going to be one of the panelists, so we can see her next week in all her glory. I mean, she was fabulous last week. Oh my God, she was just amazing.
A lot of shade. A lot of shade.
Oh yeah, in a classy way. So, So today we are recapping The Real Housewives of Potomac. Giselle and Jamal continue to struggle with their long distance relationship, and Candiace and Wendy is forcing Karen Huger to pick a side. Y'all, let's get into it.
A website called All About the Tea.
She told All About the Tea that during the fight,
All right. Can everyone hear me? Just comment in the chat below. Let me know if you can hear me or you have any issues with my sound. But I'm going to go ahead and get into it, y'all. Juan and Giselle go ring shopping for Robin's engagement ring. Okay. Giselle and Juan, they meet at this jewelry store to look at engagement rings for Robin. But it quickly becomes apparent that Giselle is feeling some type of way, you know. She wants to get married. Her and Jamal have this long distance relationship, and here's Juan looking at all these $10,000, $8,000 rings. So she says that, you know, Jamal has to man up and double. She wants a 10-carat ring, and he better propose soon. Let's get into that. Let's just dissect that for a minute. Richie, your thoughts?
She want to use the church's money to get that ring for her. It ain't happening. It ain't happening. I don't see them getting married. I don't see none of that happening. They can't even kiss when he get out the car. No.
Yeah. Do you notice that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I noticed that too.
But I want to say something though. Because I thought it was a sham of a relationship too, made for TV. But that conversation they had in the car, like, I did like the way that they were communicating the relationship, and Jamal was like, "Well, no, wait a minute. You hadn't told me that. I'm not making no assumptions." I don't know. It made me look at him just slightly different and say, all right, he might be decent.
CQ, that's that panty dropping talk. That's what I said it in my video.
He did swoon me. He did. But he had me like, he was saying all the right things. And he was talking to her so sexy, like, I don't know. It may just be an act, but it did make me take notice.
That's why all them ladies in the pulpit be throwing their panties at him.
Religious leaders are hot. Let's be honest. Listen, I've had some crushes on some rabbis, honey. They're hot. they in charge, honey, and they have a direct line to God. I mean, that's hot.
Yes!
I'm not mad at that. I am not mad at that.
I love it. But I'm gonna tell you something. Go ahead, Amir.
No. All I was gonna say was it kind of bummed me out that Giselle made it about her though. I felt like it was about Robin.
Well, that's all she knows how to do is make it about her. But I'm not the biggest fan of them advancing this relationship. It just really feels like the daughters are really uncomfortable, and my personal opinion is that they should leave their relationship where it is until that youngest kid goes off to college. And then they can start playing house and planning their golden years. But this is extremely awkward for her daughters. And the reason why it's triggering for me is because my parents divorced when I was 2 months old. And much like Giselle's kids, I have no concept of my mom and dad ever being romantically involved. And the idea of it makes me want to vomit. You know what I'm saying? So I know they feel the same way because they've never, it's gross.
I agree. They don't know how to deal with it, right? Yeah. They don't know how to process it. And
they've never seen it.
Exactly. And then the dad's not into it. There's too much against them to like push through. I don't know.
I agree. That daddy wasn't having it on that episode with that hot mic. He wasn't having it.
Nope. He exposed everything. And you see, the thing is with her kids, Giselle's kids, they're old enough to have seen certain things that daddy has done. And we've talked about this before. Someone brought up that daddy probably stood them up a couple of times. I'm coming, and then don't show up. She hears mommy on the phone crying over something daddy has done. They're old enough to know that daddy's a dirtbag, sadly.
Yep.
And they have access to the same blogs and Twitter accounts and everything.
There you go.
We do. I mean, their dad is a public figure who is more known for his infidelity than he is spreading the gospel. That's just his brand.
Yeah, spreading the seed, not the gospel.
Yeah, there it is.
As I always say, anointing the booty holes. They are quite aware what daddy does.
Daddy does. Monica, I wanted to ask you something. I don't know if you all saw Bravo chat room, or I think it was Watch What Happens Live, but Giselle did address the hot mic moment, and she said that it wasn't shocking to her because her dad has expressed this to her before. I don't think her dad has said all those things to her face. I didn't believe that. I was like, what?
I didn't either. I think she just downplayed it.
Yeah, if he had said all those things to her face, she wouldn't have brought him on the show.
But I definitely think in the back of her mind, she knew what he really felt. I mean, how do you not know your parents? Like, I literally don't have to run certain things by my parents because I already know how they're going. If you know your parents, you know how they feel about certain things. She already knew.
Yeah.
And honestly, she is 50 years old. Why? Listen, I had the same feeling about Robin. Why do y'all need to run these things by y'all parents at this age? What they got to say about it?
Yeah, especially Robin scared to tell her parents that she was in tax trouble. I mean, hell, if you wasn't asking them for the damn money, then I don't understand what the hell you was worried about.
Yeah, that was kind of odd.
But they're very Persian almost. I didn't know that. Like, I always thought it was only Persians or like maybe immigrants that were kind of doing that. But I thought it was really interesting that they like sat their parents down and asked all these, like Persians do that. Like, you don't change your shirt without consulting your parents. So I thought that was interesting that, people that are from America, like I thought it was very interesting. I didn't know that.
It was very uncharacteristic for me from Black people because typically Black people parents raise you till you're 18, and after you 18, or especially after you graduate college, whatever the hell going on in your life is what's going on in your life, and it got nothing to do with me. In your house going through foreclosure, that's fine. I ain't got no money to help your ass. Figure it out and call me later. You know what I'm saying? That's typically how it goes in the Black household. So I'm not understanding why she felt the need, especially if she wasn't asking her parents for the money. It would seem to me that she'd have been more nervous having a conversation with Bravo Andy about trying to get an advance so she can pay her damn taxes than talking to her damn parents.
I thought it was for the cameras.
Yes.
Robin needs a storyline. She needs to have some content to put on those cameras. I highly doubt if the cameras weren't there, she would be having this one-on-one, I got tax issues because they're not paying her taxes. You already knew.
She seemed like the happiest person I've ever met that owed $90,000 for some taxes. I just was like, this is so curious to me.
Exactly. She was like almost happy to talk about it. I owe the IRS. It's like, what? Are you proud of it?
I'm gonna be crying right now.
The sad part about it is, in relation to how much they get paid and the frequency by which they get paid, this issue should have been cleared up before it even became a damn. Like the moment that letter came to the house, okay, let's face it, they are staying in a starter townhome. Okay, now I know it may be in the DMV area and it may be inflated because it's expensive, but they ain't staying in no sprawling estate overlooking no goddamn lake. Okay, I'm sure they can handle their day-to-day bills off of Juan's salary. She should have paid that with her little housewives money real quick when they get their little check, and it shouldn't have never even been an issue. Robin's not a dresser. She don't dress worth of nothing. She don't have jewels and a bunch of red bottoms. She don't have a bunch of damn cars. Girl, where is your money going?
She says she's bad with managing money. She says, I'm not good with money.
She's bad at money. Yep.
She
did the investment property.
She paying the kids to be the photographer.
Oh my God.
She must shop at Whole Foods. That's where all her money going. Because,
well, she said it. Didn't she say she put the money into that investment property? That rinky-dink
that was her mama money. She got that loan in her mama name. That was
Her mama should be on the show. Her mom's shady as ever. Her mom said, I saw your tax problems on Instagram.
All right, Jay, thank you so much for the super chat. She goes, can you imagine the money Giselle will get when she divorces Jamal, who is the past preacher of a $20 million a year church? Get real. Yeah, he's not marrying her.
And that's a $20 million bus ticket to hell if she take them church people money in the divorce. Okay. God don't like that. God do not like that. God do not like alimony with the church people money.
His net worth is only $500,000, so he don't got that in his own bank account.
Oh, but that's all right. He'll funnel and finagle that shit up at the church. Don't worry about it.
He'll go sweet talk something else.
Just like he bought them girls that restaurant with the church building fund, I'm sure.
Oh yeah. 500K is just his salary. That's not what he dips and dabbles in the other funds. So the side tea that I heard is that Juan only paid $1,300 for that ring, not $8,000. He made some deal with a jewelry designer, and so they were on TV pretending like he spent $8,000 on that ring. That's not even a diamond. It's not a real diamond.
What is it called? A minkadink? A monkadunk? What was it called? A maronite? What the hell was it called?
A maronite. Yeah, that's what it's called. A maronite. A maronite is the ring, and it's not real diamonds. So
it's funny because I was actually commending him for being fiscally responsible for getting an $8,000 ring. I mean, even if it's not a real diamond per se, and I'm not a jewelry person, $8,000 is a lot of status to be walking around on your damn finger. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm glad that he didn't, especially considering the fact that they have had money troubles in the past, didn't try to go get $30,000-$40,000 ring.
Well, that wouldn't look too good to the IRS either, who's paying attention.
That part.
You can buy that kind of ring, but you can't pay us.
He clearly is not paying those taxes for her.
Oh no! He said that's your problem. Did you hear? That's your problem. That's what he said. Your problem.
He did say that.
Yeah,
he did say that, which is kind of messed up because, well, actually, it's not messed up because didn't she do this Well, she's kind of done this before, I guess.
She fucked up their money in the past. So one thing is, bitch, I'm not commingling my money with you.
That's smart. That's smart. Yeah. I mean, he has like a dependable job, and you know, she could be fired by Bravo at any moment. I mean, Bravo does that. They take the carpet from under you. So I think he's being smart. And let's be honest, she's kind of like the Teddy of Potomac. People don't like her. They don't really get the storyline. They're like, what's going on? So she might get fired soon.
I honestly see her gone next season.
I hope so. From your
I think the only thing that may save her is the fact that she and Giselle are a package deal. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing that may save her. But honestly, Robin serves no purpose than other than being Giselle's peanut gallery.
Right. The only way I can see them keeping her is if they do a wedding next season. Like,
and
Cynthia.
don't nobody want to see that.
Yeah, and they're not going to do that.
That's interesting. You and Juan are already married. You know, for all intents and purposes, they're already married. So we're not vested in seeing the next chapter of their life. They're living the next chapter of their damn life. You know what I'm saying? Y'all already together, already got a family, already got a mortgage. There's nothing for us to see.
That's true. That's true. That's true. Amin Hayes, thank you so much for the super chat. Now, y'all know if Jamal married Giselle again, that stunt queen gonna make her son a prenup.
Oh, of course.
If is the big question, but absolutely. Okay, so moving on over to Monique's house. She's working hard to prepare for her Not So Lazy for Moms live podcast with Pearl. Pearl is Chris's godfather. And they flash back with Chris's mama. That was funny. Did y'all see that? When they did like a flashback to Chris's mama. And immediately in my head, I remember Chris's mother calling Monique Heifer.
That was amazing. That was great. I like the mom.
I do too. So that was funny. Monique and Pearl, they rehashed the fight. And Monique wants to get to the bottom of what triggered her to drag Candiace by her weave. She's remorseful. She wants to invite Robin and Wendy to the event. So she calls them up, and Wendy is just straight out. She just tells her, look, no, Monique, you have taken no remorse. I want nothing to do with you. I'm not coming to your event. Robin is like, I'll think about it. So that was kind of sad. That was kind of like a sad moment because you could see Monique's broken, right? And she's changed. She wants to show them that she's changed, but if they're not willing to be around her, how can she show them she's a different person? Let's dive into that a little bit. Richie, your thoughts?
I can respect Wendy slightly more than I can Robin in this instance because I would prefer that my reality stars just be honest at all times. And if that's how she felt, okay, that's how she felt. But with Robin, I have a little bit of a different standpoint because just days after the altercation, you were able to go work with Monique at DSW. So you were able to, I'm sure, get a nice little check. Hopefully you report it to the IRS, but to stand beside her, to work with her, to pose for photos with her. But you couldn't do the same thing for her event, which means that you did not want to film with her. And the less people are able to film with a particular character, the less camera time that person is likely to get unless someone else shows up, right?
Right.
So to me, I felt like this was all an effort to ice her out of the cast.
Definitely a point. Definitely a point.
I think it is too. I'm just curious to know in their heart of hearts why they don't like that girl so much. You know what I'm saying? Like to not like somebody to the point where you want to conspire and fuck them out of this awesome job that y'all have, making hundreds of thousands of dollars to go eat. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's very mean-spirited. That is very mean-spirited to be like, we got this cake job making hundreds of thousands of dollars to get dressed and go eat, and we finna try to fuck her out of it. Why do you dislike her to that magnitude?
Right.
Jealousy.
Jealousy. Yep. I think it's jealousy. And I also think it's Monique kind of started off this process. And again, I'm very team Monique, but started off a bit with a chip on her shoulder. I have 4 homes. Like she was kind of like, I don't know. I personally felt like she came in a little bit hot because I think when you are successful and rich, sometimes it's hard because people judge you. They're like, oh, she's going to be so-and-so. And then she kind of came in a bit hot. But I mean, since then, that was the first season. She's been a lot more down to earth.
I wholeheartedly disagree with you. I think her 4 homes response was a response to Giselle trying to be messy. Oh, you don't have a home? No, and she closed that bitch. Not only do I have a home, I have 4. Giselle was being messy. Oh, you don't have a home? Who says that to somebody that you just met? What was the intent behind that? And she closed that bitch. And they didn't like her ever since because she refused to come in and be the freshman college student trying to audition to be a part of their sorority. She held her own and basically came in like, bitch, I don't need this fucking check. I'm rich. And them hoes don't like it because she refused to kiss their ass in order to be a part of their little sorority. And Giselle looks like the type who is used to people bowing down to her because she's statuesque and beautiful and sought after. And she was the first lady. And Monique did not come in and fit the mold of her little young minion who she could control. And she is bothered by it.
Mm-hmm.
I get that, but you can't expect them then to defend her when shit goes down. Like if they don't like you, they don't like you. So that, yeah. Then
I would rather them just say,
I don't like you.
I would rather them just say, I don't like you, right? Mm-hmm. Because to me, there's also this little saying I've heard. It says something like, you have to level up your circle so that when you speak about the things that you have, it doesn't sound like bragging.
Yep.
Right. It doesn't offend anyone because everyone has, speak on it.
When they have more, honey, if your friend has a Birkin and a Bentley, you're talking about your Benz, no one cares.
Right.
So, and that's the truth. But I like to have, lower people because then I feel good. But that's just but in all seriousness, I do want to address real quick the whole I did appreciate Wendy this episode. I felt like she was honest and authentic. She said, I'm not coming to your podcast. I don't know how I feel about you. I'm not 100%. And I felt like that's what Giselle and Robin should do. It was kind of her way of being like, I don't like you right now. And it doesn't mean I hate you. I just don't like you right now. And I don't know where I stand with you. And I thought that Monique handled it really well. And I felt like Wendy kind of, in my opinion, showed up a little bit this episode. I liked it.
Mm-hmm. It was definitely fair. And it's funny because I put in my notes for my video that I've got to do later. Robin's response was definitely fair. Let me think about it. And it still feels as if they're 2 weeks out from the altercation. I found it surprising that Monique even thought to invite them. And in Robin's confessional, she does have a point. Like, girl, you haven't changed in 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? Now, granted, your stance may have changed, but a fundamental change in who you are as a person did not take place in 2 weeks.
Amen. Amen to that.
Now, I'm going to have to disagree with you, Amir. I liked Wendy last episode. This episode, I do not like her. Again, I'm back to not liking her. Because I feel that she is just doing way too much for someone that just met these women. She just met Monique. Mm-hmm. Why are you so invested in icing her out of the group, not attending her events? I just wish she had came in and took a neutral stance. I understand Candiace is her friend, but at the same time, Wendy herself admitted, and the day after the fight, she called up Monique and was like, girl, I completely understand why you did what you did. I used to fight in high school as well. So, we've all been in fights. It's not like this strange anomaly that happened or occurred. So these women they're just taking it and using it as an excuse to ice Monique out the group. And I just hate that Wendy is being a follower and not a leader. That's my problem with Wendy.
Right.
I think,
but that's where she gets season 2. Like that's the only way you're going to get season 2 is if you go after the main people. If you come in and we've seen it with the one seasoners, they don't go after the Ramonas and the Ninis and the Bethany's, and they don't come back. So if you don't go, like Jackie, for example, Jackie, I think is very boring on New Jersey, but she came for Teresa and she's coming back, like she got her second season. She's back for a third. So I think sometimes Wendy, I always said this from the beginning, Wendy's a fan of the show. She watched it. You know, she's a public figure. She watched the show. Like, she didn't come in not knowing how it works.
True. Good point.
I think Wendy too is also what I call like blindly loyal to Candiace. Like, you know, you my homegirl. I'm gonna ride with you regardless. Which, you know, some people could consider it a good quality, but that shit can also get you in trouble too when your friend is wrong. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that Candiace is wrong in this situation, as many people think that I feel. I'm just saying that Candiace did her fair share of contributing to this situation. And they're failing to acknowledge that, like, you know, and I've said it a million times. Yes, Monique was wrong. In a perfect world, we would not put our hands on people, but we live in a very imperfect world. And the reality of the situation is some people are just about their life. Like, you ain't just finna keep talking shit to people and nothing happened.
Mm-hmm.
And it don't make it right. And it don't make it right. And maybe it is ignorant. And maybe it is ghetto. And maybe it is lowbrow. And maybe it is barbaric. But the reality of the situation is the shit happens.
Right.
I don't think it's lowbrow. I don't think it's ghetto. I think it's common sense. You would not walk out here in these streets and walk up in nobody's face and not expect some type of consequence. It just doesn't happen. So you think that under the protection of a reality show that you could just say whatever and do whatever, and that's not the case. So for me, I don't care if you think it's ghetto or what, but I just wouldn't do it. I'm not running up on nobody. Listen, I'm not trying to fight at this age, but I know that if I run up on somebody and I start something, they're gonna finish it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Or say certain things to people. I mean, you know, there is a way to, you know, argue with folks without saying shit that'll get you popped. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And people have been popped for lesser. People have been popped for lesser on Bravo. But when Lisa Rinna breaks a glass and tries to choke Kim, we don't call that lowbrow.
Yeah.
So why are we making Potomac exactly? Or when people, like, for example, basketball wise, Evelyn I was DMing her the other day. She jumps over tables and we get over it by the second episode. Like, can we just move on? Like, they keep making this fight this bigger and bigger thing. I'm like, I miss the days where we could just move on. Like, you had a fight, like, and then this girl comes in with those ugly ass shoes with the feather shoes, and she just complaining. I'm like, girl, your face looks fine. Like, you've healed. Like, just stop. Like, it feels like she's constantly bringing up PTSD and making people choose sides. And I'm like, you're just making it more, and you're making yourself look bad as well. Like, if you just let it go, it would have just gone away. It
was the sticky notes for me, Amir.
Oh, child.
Those sticky notes wore me the fuck out. You're okay. You're okay. I'm like, why wouldn't you be, bitch? You home. Why wouldn't you be? Like,
I love you home. And then they said the same thing. All of the post-it notes. I'm all for a mantra, but switch it up. I'm pretty. I'm good. I'm okay. I got a nice husband. Like, switch it up, girl. Because I'm okay.
Oh my goodness. Y'all too much.
You better signing up for some self-defense courses or something. I don't know. The post-it notes for me aren't working. If you're gonna have a mouth like that, you got to have hands. That's just
or
all.
The easiest thing that'll save you time, money, and effort is to just shut the fuck up.
Keep your mouth shut. Yeah.
Just fire her. Right. Just fire her and Kelly Dodd. The two of them have got to go from the Bravo sphere. Goodbye. Goodbye, Kelly. Goodbye,
Kelly does wear me out. Kelly wears me out. And they need to bring ugly Vicky back because Vicky stirs them hoes.
Oh, yeah.
But this ain't about them.
Yes, y'all. Vicky will be back. My uncle is a plastic surgeon, and he does her face once in a while. So hopefully he'll get her a new face, and she'll come back. We'll see.
Oh, the shade. So I left this comment up because I just wanted to address it real quick before we move on. Angie Moore said, absolutely. She started saying, Monique started it back way when she first came on the show with the 4 houses. Giselle's issue with her is with Sherman. And I just want to address that real quick because a lot of fans don't realize Monique was not the one who brought Sherman's ex back on the show. Her name just slips my mind now. And I know her name because I interviewed her and I've spoken to her and she's a really nice girl. Kendall, that's right. Kendall. Monique was not the one who brought Kendall on that show. Kendall was friends with Charisse. Charisse spoke to Kendall. Those two plotted, and the plan was to come on the show and confront Giselle and embarrass Giselle or what have you. Monique was just collateral damage. She just invited Kendall to her party. So I just wanted to address that.
But let's not pretend like Monique was not aware of the repercussions of inviting Kendall to that party. And I think there was another scene where she went for a walk with Kendall as well. Considering the fact that you and Charisse were friends at that time, it's hard for me to believe that Charisse did not, at least in the midst of having girl talk with you on the phone, fill you in on what she was doing and who Kendall was and how she finna bring her on to read that bitch Giselle. And you kind of helped fortify her plan by even entertaining Kendall on camera. So no, her hands are not completely clean in that situation either. So I can get Giselle being upset with her in regards to that.
That's fair. You know, I mean, personally, do I know how involved Monique was? No, but on the surface, everybody put the blame on Monique. But in actuality, my point was that Charisse played a part in it. That was Charisse's friend. Indeed. Her and Charisse plotted. But for some reason, Giselle blamed Monique for it. It was all Monique's fault. So I just wanted to clear.
Well, you know, it's funny because I think part of it was Charisse even on? Was she a cast member that season, or was she just a friend of the show that season?
She was a cast member, wasn't she? She was a cast member that season.
And then you also got to recognize the fact that from the Four Homes moment, Giselle has made a commitment to disliking Monique. So Monique could have literally said the sky is blue, and Giselle would have taken exception with that because she's just made a commitment to not liking her.
But do you think when they made up, do you think that was real?
No.
This season?
No. It was an attempt for her to do exactly what she did, which was shred that group into more slices than a damn pizza. It was an attempt for her to manipulate Monique. Because the moment she got an opportunity to flip, she did.
In a heartbeat.
Yes,
that's not the action of somebody that's trying to be understanding and trying to build. The moment she got an opportunity to flip, she did.
Right. She did. And that's why I'm afraid for Karen, because she's like, I miss my friend. You know, I just want to get drunk. And girl, Karen, be on guard.
Well, I can tell you this, honey. Down at Miss Cynthia Bailey wedding where I was at, Giselle and Karen were both there. And there was a moment where I was by the bar and because of COVID, we were not allowed to bring +1. So it did appear as if Giselle was alone. And although we were in a room full of a lot of different reality TV people and different celebrities or whatnot, you can tell that she did not personally know a lot of people. So she was standing on the wall by herself. And Karen was there with the white guy that she hangs out with and her hairdresser. And they were maybe about 7 to 10 paces away from Giselle. And it would have made perfect sense for them to communicate and keep each other company as we were waiting for them to turn the ballroom. But there was no discourse between her and Giselle, considering the fact that Giselle was standing up against the wall alone. So I take from that they probably really ain't like on girlfriend terms right now.
And she said she left early. She missed the toast and she left early to go in the room with Jamal. That's what she said on Watch What Happens Live or the Bravo chat room, one of those.
Yeah. It sounds like nobody wanted to, she didn't know nobody. So
she didn't know nobody.
She didn't. Like, you know, a few of the Bravo people spoke to her in passing from what I saw. But in terms of like canoodling with her over cocktails, she was the girl at the party nobody wanted to dance with.
Wow.
And she said it was because of the masks. She said people took their masks off, which is why I left, which I don't think is real.
I mean, that could be legitimate. There were people taking their masks off, and that could be legitimate. But Karen wasn't fucking with her.
The real tea is, go ahead, Q, break it down. Okay. We're going to circle back to that because I want to hear about that wedding and how it went and all the teas. I know there was a lot of stuff that went down, some stuff I heard. But anyway, let's check on our folks, guys. Let's do the roll call.
Oh, you know we live, right? Let's go. It's the roll call, it's the roll call. Tune in and let us know what's up with y'all. We wanna hear what you got to say. Who's on live with Richie, Monique, down in Monica today? It's the roll call, roll call. Tune in and let us know what's up with y'all. Cause we wanna hear what you got to say. Who's on live with Richie, Monique, down in Monica today? Who's on live with us right now? Tap in. Drop an emoji if you know you bout that action. Gotta go get it, ain't no time for relaxing. My family gotta eat, so I'm bringing all them racks in. She wanna get managed. Say no more, your ex is granted. No handlebars, watch me handle it. No pillow talking, don't be scandalous.
All right, y'all. Who do we have on the live today? Rashonda, I see you. Henrietta, hey girl. Singe, hey Singe. The Kevin 421, welcome. Jess with the kids. Tashara, Heidi Black, hey Heidi. Mabel King, hi sweetheart. Bernice, hey Bernice. CCF Freak. Now you gotta, one day you're gonna explain that name to me. Jamal, hey Jamal. Marcy, Josie, Glenn, Mabetta Floral, EH Bunny, Cheryl James, Jessica Courtney, Lisa, Miss T, Corey, Sharonda, Pinky Love, Worthy View, Marika, Lisa Campbell, April, hey April, hey girl, RNM. QT1, Keisha. Hey, Keisha. Hey, y'all. Welcome all. You could be anywhere today, but thank you for being here with us and spending your afternoon. Welcome. All right, y'all. Let's get back to recapping this episode. Ray and Karen go to counseling. Okay. So they're having these marital problems, and Karen has decided to hire a life coach to help them out to see if, they can solve their issues. Ray comes out, he comes clean and explains that he's harboring resentment that his wife has suddenly become the breadwinner. Ray says that Karen used to be a housewife at home and now she's, out making the money and he can't deal with it. He misses that Karen that used to be a stay-at-home wife. He's on his third retirement. What are y'all thoughts? Let's dive into it. Pretty much it's the same thing as last week, but now they're in a therapist's office. Richie, your thoughts?
He on his third retirement. That was what the thing that stuck out to me. I was like, how'd that work? But otherwise, I mean, for me, I'm just kind of like, get over it. At this point in time, it's like, you retired, you ain't doing nothing else. Let her be the star. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure she's done all of this stuff for you and your kids, okay? And her kids, but that she had before him. So I'm just like, let it go. Be happy. Let her make the money. She paid your taxes.
I was finna say, I think she made a very valid point, when she was in that counseling session. And it's like, the only reason why I was able to bail you out is because of this woman I am as a result of this show and La Dame fragrance and everything else. You can't have it both ways.
True.
Because you wasn't mad at me for being this woman when I gave you whatever I gave you to clear up them damn taxes. So at least leave me be for a couple years, Ray. Like, let me have 3 to 5 years to fool la la. This is not going to last forever.
Right. That's true. Good points. Amir, your thoughts?
I just feel like I wish Ray would just stop with like the pretenses. Like every time he meets someone, I'm not wearing purple, and he's always trying to be like likable. And I just wish he would be like just real. Like, I'm annoyed. Like, you're pissing me off. Like, I just feel like sometimes he has like a wall up. I don't know if it's just like he's uncomfortable on camera, but we never get to see the real Ray. Like, I'm like, are you just always wearing khakis? Like, I don't know. I just feel like he's so buttoned up. I don't know, something. I just wish he would just be like a little bit more. I feel like sometimes Karen tells him how he feels. She's like, oh, you just want me to be at home and be a housewife? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, is that really how he feels? Or are you just kind of leading him that way? I don't know. I just wish that he would go to therapy alone, open up. He has a lot of childhood trauma. You can just see it. Like, he just hasn't dealt with some stuff. Like, I think he has to deal with it.
I think Karen is making more money than Ray. I honestly think so at this point. I think Karen, I don't know what they're making. I would assume this far in that they're probably in the $600,000-$800,000 a year range. I would assume. And it's probably uncomfortable for him, considering the fact that he had been the man, the breadwinner, the person who secured the lifestyle for them for so long. And then for him to have the tax problems, and then for her fame, star, power, and notoriety. He even said it. For the longest while, she was my wife. Now I'm Karen Huger's husband. And it's like, yeah, you are. But he honestly could take a page out of Greg Leaks' book and hold her purse and shut up.
But Greg didn't take it lying down for a while. Like, he was pissed for a while about it. So I think it takes men an adjustment.
Okay, yeah, I don't remember.
He was a little, like, I think it took him a second, because I think it's hard for men, right? Even gay men, sometimes it's hard to, if one person's making more money, they tend to be like, that person kind of, money comes with control, right? So I feel like Ray feels like, I'm not giving you money, so I can't really control you. So if she wants to go out on a Wednesday night with her gays or her friends, he can't stop her, He can't stop her. She got her own money. So I think that's probably, it's a lot to do with control.
I can see that.
He's old school, and they play the typical gender roles in that relationship. I get it. I totally understand. Karen having to bail him out on this tax issue, and it's not private, right? They're a very public couple. So it's not just the people in their household that know about it. It's the world that knows about it. So this is a big bruise to his ego. He can't take it. He just wants Karen to be Ray Huger's wife. He doesn't want to be Karen Huger's husband. He doesn't want that. I get it.
And then too, I also think it's a cautionary tale. I always say you're going to pay on the front end or the back end, but you're going to pay whenever you get into a union with somebody who is that much older than you. It's like, okay, yeah, when she first got married, it was like, I got this hot sugar daddy that's rich and I'm young. But now that he's aging, Ray is ready to sit down on a rocking chair and drink sweet tea. And Karen is like, I'm middle aged and I just found my stride, and it's like developmentally they're in two different places. And I think that's a large part of it too.
Yeah, good point. He's 70 and she's 50 something. I mean,
so he's ready to sit down and watch Wheel of Fortune and be in bed by 8:30.
Yeah.
And Karen is at the latest movie premiere, and book signing and all these other things. And it's funny because at a certain point, when you get old, you just get ornery and you don't care about nothing. All you want is to eat and watch Wheel of Fortune and go to sleep. You don't care about the money. You to hell with the fame.
Right.
And I think that's kind of where Ray is headed.
Right.
You're right. Because he used to love it, right? The Indian party, and then they had the big blowouts. And then this time he just went up to bed early. Like, he's over it. Like, it's too much.
He's physically tired. He's mentally tired. Like he said, he's on his third retirement. And when you've worked so hard to provide this fabulous lifestyle, lavish lifestyle for so many years, when you get tired and you're ready to lay down, you expect the woman that you provided all of this for so many years to be right beside you, laying down with you, watching Wheel of Fortune at 8:00.
I also think too that there could be a level of insecurity involved, because it's like, okay, I'm 70, my wife is 50, she's hot, everyone knows who she is. She now has access to a whole lot of different people that she may not have had access to before. What if she finds something out there that she likes better? What if, a younger gentleman comes along and sparks her interest? I know that those are all things that Ray could be potentially going through, because let's face it, he is 70. Karen is not coming home and fucking having, crazy wild sex with Ray. He's not getting on his knees eating her box like a freshman in college. Like, it's not happening. It's not,
Not a freshman.
I would really be surprised if Karen and Ray even do have sex.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But they're companions. I feel like he's
interest
looking
in
for
sex.
companions. Yeah, he's looking for a companion, not a sexual partner.
Yeah.
And Cameron is still young.
She's in her stride right now. I mean, there's a lot of women her age that's ready to go. Karen looks like she's ready to go, right? I mean, the over everything. She looks like she could take on a 30-year-old right now, a 20-year-old. She can knock them down, no problem. So yeah, it's a tough situation. Yeah. So Wendy is giving her son's breast milk, and Candiace wants to confront Karen. So over at Wendy's house, I guess the breast milk, she's lactating, and the breast milk that she gives to baby Cameron, she also gives to her son as a medicinal medicine. I get it. I can't even imagine what it tastes like. They're too old to be drinking no damn breast milk from a tube. I can't even imagine the taste.
It's sweet. Have you never had breast milk? It tastes sweet.
I wouldn't even taste mine.
I tasted my cousin's. It's fine. It's not that bad.
Oh my God. Ooh.
It's really not that bad. It's like sweet. It tastes like it has honey in the milk. It's actually really
Does
great.
it? Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't even taste mine. No. Because breast milk got blood in it and all kinds of stuff. No. Mm-mm.
Oh, girl.
Take some
Now you're telling.
information.
Now I know.
Yeah.
Now I know.
Mm-hmm. So she calls up the ladies and invite her to her upcoming event, Wine with Wendy, her political event. And she gets Candiace on the phone, and Candiace claims she's having hourly panic attacks, dealing with the social media bullying.
So I'm finna go.
Well, you seem fine. I'm not trying to minimize anyone's anxiety, but you seem fine.
I don't even want to be on this live no more. I don't have time. I'm finna go, y'all.
Oh my God. She said she is cute. I kid you not. She is having hourly panic attacks. Okay. So this girl is really building her case. She is really, her mother's a psychologist, and I'm pretty sure she's feeding her tips like, say this and say that and put up the Post-it notes, because
she's minimizing people's mental health. Like, I deal with anxiety. A lot of people deal with anxiety, but to say that you're having hourly panic attacks, like, you're minimizing it, and then you're turning around and trying to sue someone. If you're really dealing with hourly anxiety, you're not going and suing people and trying to get them pulled away from their children. She's just problematic.
If she was as anxious and as panic-ridden as she claims, she wouldn't even be filming, okay?
Exactly.
It just wouldn't happen, because guess what? Most reality shows, you can get out of filming if you have a note from a psychiatrist or a psychologist, I believe.
Oh.
And so typically there is one assigned to every show, okay? From what I know. So if you are in fact having these types of panic attacks, you can simply call the psychologist on staff or whoever they've commissioned to do so, and then you can just get out of filming, because that's what I would do if I were having panic attacks every 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm. Due to social media bullying, okay?
Is it the same social media that she was dragging people on?
Let me tell you something.
I mean, it's ironic. It's like Melania Trump being the head of anti-bullying. I mean, it's
Let me tell you something. And I mean this. And I have tried, because I've been accused of being non-sympathetic in this situation, right? But what I'm not finna do is sit here and listen to good and grown 30-something plus people tell me shit about social media bullying when all you got to do is not log into Instagram. Okay. You don't like that shit is so self-imposed. It is so self-imposed. Nobody is making you get on Twitter. So all you got to do is stick your phone in your pocketbook for 2 weeks until the shit dies down.
Exactly.
I'm not
or go private.
I'm so defenseless, and they're bullying me. You are a grown freaking person. You're not being, we overuse this word bully to the point it's just ridiculous, and it looks weak as fuck. that a grown person is talking about being social media bullied. Now, you give me some young high school kid, some middle school kid, that's a different story. But college and above, miss me with that you're being social media bullied.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Yeah, yeah. Or just go private, or I put like AdWords in the comments so people can't say nasty things. So if people are calling you certain things, put those in the filter. But the funny thing, you know what, you guys, it's not even that she's saying she's being bullied. She is the bully. She called bedwench. She called them roach. You live in a log cabin. I mean, she's been so nasty. It's something if you've never done anything and then you feel like the internet's bullying you, but you've done a lot of stuff.
You are stupid as shit if you keep reading something that hurts your feelings. You're stupid. It's just stupid.
It makes no sense.
It doesn't.
All you have to do is deactivate everything. Don't come to me with it. Because I hate when people
ignore it.
Friends and they carry on and on and on about the bullshit. And this goes out to the people too in the chat, because y'all know who you are. Please stop coming in my inbox about bullshit, because I don't care about that stuff. I don't care about drama. I don't care. I don't want to hear it. I run like several companies. I am super busy all the time. It's funny when I called Daniva the other day. I have this thing on my phone. It's a Google Plus number, and you have to announce yourself. And he said, "Bitch, don't nobody want to stalk you." And
I was offended. She hadn't gave me a Google voice number. Like, give me the real number.
And he was like, "Bitch, nobody want to stalk you." But you don't understand. The funny part is they do. They really do. And you know this. You too. Richie knows this. Amir, you know this. You know how people.
Oh, girl, I had to go private for 3 weeks. People were trying to slit my throat, honey, over nothing.
They were sending you death threats. So, we all know, but stop coming in my inbox about it, because honestly and truthfully, it's draining. And how I deal with not being bullied and taking on all, don't show it to me. I don't read it. I don't go to nobody's account. I don't want to see it. I don't click on your video. So you make a very valid point. If she feels like she's being bullied and it's causing her to curl up in a corner and have anxiety, don't open up social media.
Yes, it literally is that simple. It literally is that simple. I don't understand this logic. Oh, they're hurting me. I'm gonna keep reading it. They're hurting me on Instagram, so let me go to Twitter. Oh, they're hurting me some more. Let me go to Facebook. Oh, they're hurting me some more. Then you wake up the next day and do it again. That just doesn't make sense to me.
It does not. And especially like Amir said, he pointed out, she's the biggest bully. She's called people lies. She's attacked a baby, said he looks like Chucky. She wished death on a blogger. She fat who happens to be in the hospital right now dying. That's the irony of it. You got to watch your words too. Wow. You wishing death on people. The same blogger she attacked is in the hospital right now. I'm not trying to put his business out there, but he's fighting for his life.
Oh, he's so sweet too.
But I ain't gonna put that on her. Now her words ain't that damn powerful. I ain't gonna put that on her.
Put things out in the universe, though. You got to be careful with the things.
You got to be what you say, especially when you're a public figure. You chose to do this, and the only responsibility they have to Bravo is to do that stupid weekly blog that nobody reads. So delete all your social media and do the blog and call it a day. And the problem with her is that she wants to go and block fans. She wants to call people out for being paid by Monique. She's creating a roster of like support. That's her thing. She does want to see all this stuff. She's just calling bullying because she knows when you call someone a bully, everyone goes, "Oh my God, cyberbullying, that's so bad. Oh my God." And they go team Candiace. So
the thing about it is though, everybody was on her side and supporting her until she overplayed the hand. Because when people saw them sticky notes, it was like, okay, girl, like I can't even support this because you didn't get sticky note whooped. Like you didn't get sticky note. Sticky note whooped is like when you were walking down the alley and you got mugged on like an episode of Law and Order. Like that's sticky note whooped. You got your wig pulled. Like, girl. So now people are looking at her crazy because the response she's having is just disproportionate to what happened.
Says I'm okay. Okay, we're happy you're okay. With a happy face.
I'm okay. I'm okay.
Because,
well, we talked about this last week. Sorry, Amir.
No,
I personally feel, and I know some of the panelists agree with me, Candiace was trying to go after Monique civilly. She wanted a civil suit. Her lawyer sent Monique's lawyer a letter that said, if we don't hear from you, we're going to pursue civil action. So what better way to do it and build up your case and say you suffer from, since it wasn't a physical abuse, right? There was no physical remnants. You didn't get a black eye. Your wig was still on your scalp. Your scalp wasn't pulled off. You have to go after emotional abuse, psychological abuse. So she is playing up this thing to the utmost to go after Monique for a civil case. She wants that $1 million house.
But I will say this in fairness. It's her right. It's her right. And regardless of if she deserved to be dragged or beat up or whatever, she is well within her right. I have a saying that says you can't do wrong to a motherfucker to tell them how mad to get. Okay, she's well within her right to do whatever she wants to do. Now, I feel like it's excessive. I feel like if it's bringing you so much stress, you should have just left it alone the day after it happened, and you wouldn't be stressed. Because I'm still trying to figure out why you're so stressed when you could just leave it alone. But she's well within her right, and Monique opened herself up to these level of vulnerabilities, because when you are a person of worth a certain dollar amount, you have to always think lawsuit. Let me not get into it with this person because they're going to come after my riches.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she has too much to lose to be trying to drag people. You're absolutely right. It's not worth it. And these women don't have her best interest at heart. There's always a motive with this crowd, and you have to be smarter than they are. They laid out the trap and you took the bait. Iron Angel, thank you so much for the $10. She says, Candiace can overuse cyberbully, because her mindset is the level of someone in middle or high school. She's a victim to the fullest in her broken mind. Well said. Well said. Oh my goodness, y'all. Something else. So yeah, Candiace is being cyberbullied. So Giselle drives Jamal to the airport. Let's break this down. Giselle is, she's picking Jamal up from one of the children's events that they had. And I was kind of looked at that situation like, why didn't Giselle attend the event with him if it was for their kid? That was kind of weird to me. But anyway, they're on the way to the airport. He flies in and flies out, and they're having a discussion about their relationship. And which y'all said you liked it, but me personally, I thought Jamal was giving a sermon at the church, and it was his way of advertising. Like, look what I can present. If you come to my church, I provide comfort. Jamal, he's using some slick phrases and stuff like, your battle cry was your need. That word battle cry, your battle cry was you needing to protect your space and safeguard your individuality. To me, that just sounded like a damn sermon. What are your thoughts, Richie?
He was just trying to get them panties off her. That's it. I mean, I feel like that's how he's used to speaking to his congregation. I think that's how he's used to speaking to women in general. And I think that's what usually works for whatever women fall for him. So I feel like he was just doing more of what he typically does. That's all I think. Because I do think that if you were a casual listener to him, I feel like he sort of sweet talked her, in this weird, in this very mind control almost way, to the point where I felt like she thinks that she left the conversation with more than she left with.
Right. He's slick. He's real slick.
Because I thought she left with more than that too, until I really just thought about it. I was like, wait. Yeah. Ain't nothing changed. He's still in another state.
Nothing changed. Nothing.
Well, I ain't gonna lie there. He must have tricked me too there, bitch, because I left feeling fulfilled. I was like, he's good and that man loves me. That's how I left feeling.
Amir, what did you think?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with both y'all. I felt like he was very slick, but he has a way of connecting with her that I don't think anyone else does. He has a way of breaking down her walls, and she almost seems like I would never approach, if I was at a wedding, let's say, and Giselle was there in a corner, I would never approach her. She seems unapproachable and kind of mean. So, but when he interacts with her, she almost becomes a bit more like softer or something. And so I like that. I like that he can kind of disarm her, but I don't believe the bullshit that he has never heard her say she wants to get married. I was like, what? He was like, I've never heard that before. Now you're telling me. You should have told me sooner. I was like, oh God. I don't know. I don't know. Something about him just rubs me the wrong way. But I mean, he looked good when he came out of that car, honey. He was thick and he was hugging her. I was like, I was into it. I was not mad at it. But I like a religious man, so sorry.
I just think he's so slick. You know, the way he explains it, that he was simply waiting on her to come around and tell him she was ready to take the relationship to the next level. It's like, how old are y'all? 20? Give me a break. And she totally fell for that. I was like, girl.
There's a saying that says you never go back to what broke you. And I just kind of live by that. I just think this is just a bad idea. I just think it's a bad idea. You never go back to what broke you. You know what I'm saying?
Good TV though, right?
And if the man did you like that when you had young children or were pregnant and yada, 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 what do you think he was capable of doing now that the children are grown and not even a damn factor? You know what I'm saying? If he did you like that when the children were a factor, you're really disposable now. And not to say that people can't change, because they can, but I personally couldn't do it. He could probably be my little boyfriend like he is now. And that's probably as far as I would allow my heart to let it go.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
He's trying, but it's not enough, right? Like, he still comes into town. He bought them the restaurant. In his mind, he's like, I'm trying. But I don't know. I felt like when she was saying bye to him and she called him Jamali, I thought that was sweet. I was like, okay, there's like, I feel like with them, it looks like they're roommates. So I like that there was a little bit more of a spark.
Yeah.
So here's what I need to see. If this shit is real, then I need to see Giselle playing stepmama with his other children.
Ooh.
Okay. That's what I need to see. Does he spend
I don't think
time
she's gonna do that
with his other children? If y'all get married on holidays, or do his other children come over? Why wasn't his other children at the Arizona? Do they not get a restaurant? You know what I'm saying? Like there's a lot that comes along with this. This man still has young children. So if him and Giselle got married today or tomorrow, and I think it's only reasonable that these children come to spend weekends and holidays at their dad's house, aka Giselle and Jamal's house. If this shit is really real, I want to see them other children.
But you're going to be waiting for a while.
Because I would not be surprised, because I know with Sheree and Bob Whitfield, and I know this personally, that when they did that whole 1-2 dance on the show, it was solely for Sheree to have a storyline. It was never, they were playing with the idea of getting back together. I would not be surprised if Giselle is doing the same thing over here with Jamal. I really don't see this relationship going all the way.
No.
Yeah, I agree with you. Good point.
It already went all the way and it didn't work. So it's like,
that is why you were so in and out for a quick scene, Because if that's your man, why we ain't seen the scene of you and him at his hotel room, exactly. or him at your house in his boxers, or like the shit that real couples do?
Yeah. I mean, if he was in town, he's in Atlanta, why didn't we see a whole scene of him interacting with the kids in her house?
Why haven't we seen her in Atlanta with a camera crew waking up in his house?
Yeah.
You don't want it. He don't want it. I don't think he wants it. I don't think he wants to be on the show.
Cherry Lynn, thank you so much for the super chat. She says Jamal's side chick did an interview. She had receipts, text messages. He says the relationship was a storyline. Richie, I sent it to you on IG. I've seen it. I wrote a blog about it.
I've seen the video too.
Yeah. And I believe that lady because she's a well-known pastor. She's not just some average chick. So I believe it.
I don't know. I thought Christianity, I mean, I could be wrong. I did go to Christian school for 15 years, but I thought like fornicating was a no-no. But I guess not. I don't know. These pastors acting a fool, honey.
I don't know. These are these new pastors. This is new church.
Well, you know, the new Jesus, you get to pick and choose what rules you want to follow. With
yeah.
I like that, honey. I like that. I might have been more into that back then.
If Trump gets to pick and choose what reality he wants to live in at any given moment, then with this new Jesus, I get to pick which rules that are good for my life and reject the ones that don't work.
Yeah, sad. So true. Speak on it, Boneva. So time for Monique's Not for Lazy for Moms event. The only person that showed up to support was Ashley. Karen bailed the morning of. She sent Monique a text and said she was sick. All of the other ladies don't want anything to do with Monique. They claim she's not remorseful. So they sit down and Ashley starts to tell Monique that Karen said she would press charges if she was in Candiace's shoes. Monique is blown away by the news, and then she goes on stage. Now, I understand Ashley was being a good friend by relaying this information. And it was a scene, right? The cameras were there. They had to talk about something. But why tell her right before she goes on stage? It's like, ugh, you know.
You know, the thing that's always bothered me about the way that Ashley relays information, it always feels like there's an additional intent behind it, right? Like it feels as if she's going out of her way to try to paint Karen as a wishy-washy friend. I don't believe that Karen was encouraging Candiace to press charges. I am of the belief Karen was simply saying, had it happened to me, I would do everything within my rights to punish the person. So I understand if that's what she wants to do, because I would probably do the same. I don't think Karen was going around planting seeds for Candiace to press charges, and Ashley presented it in a very messy way.
She did.
She instigated something and created something that did not exist.
True.
But maybe she didn't know. You know, looking in from the outside, it does seem like Karen was being a little shady. Just looking in from the outside, maybe that's how Ashley perceived it. But then she ran with it and she twisted it into something real messy too. So
Karen is in a very precarious situation because she is in the middle, and I think it's unfair, particularly from Candiace's side of the aisle, to be placing this pressure on her to punish Monique. See, they keep using the word accountable. And I think, she has held her accountable. She said, you're wrong. But what they're looking for is some sort of punishment to be rendered by Karen. And that's not her place, nor is it theirs.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You can have an opinion all day long, but it is not y'all's place to punish this girl. And that's what they seem to be doing.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. Karen is in a funny place. And I understand she is, but I'm just loving Karen this season though, because she has evolved into this super auntie, the protector, the voice of reason and wisdom. She's really bringing it this season.
She is.
You okay? Allergies?
Not even you a mess.
You give 0 Fs. You're like Erica Jane, 0 Fs.
As I'm laying in my bed eating cheesecake.
And that's why we love him,
We love some cheesecake. I'm not mad at that.
But I'm with Sasha T's comment. When Wendy was like, what we want is for you to hold her accountable. I'm like, I need y'all to define and spell out to me what Karen holding her accountable looks like to you that will make you satisfied.
I can tell you. It looks like not filming with Monique.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, what else could it be? Every time they say hasn't held her accountable, they flash back to the same scene of Karen telling Monique that what she did was wrong. So I don't understand, what else could you want from her? Because last we checked, the last time they filmed a group scene, that was the time that Karen did something. So what else could you be asking for that we, the audience, don't see? The only thing left is that you're still willing to film with this girl when we're not.
Exactly.
And in all actuality, I'm not going to lie to you. Everybody can be appalled and taken aback or disappointed, but the only person who honestly has a right to be mad or upset is Candiace. The rest of you bitches, she didn't do nothing to y'all. So you know what I'm saying? Like, she didn't whoop y'all ass, she whooped Candiace ass. So I'm really not understanding what y'all mad about.
Exactly.
Well, they don't feel safe around her.
Oh, girl, bye.
Yeah, but the next day, Robin did an in-store DSW with Monique the day after the fight. So they full of shit. You know, they're just using this as an excuse to kick Monique off the show.
They just don't like her. They just don't like her.
Yeah.
The thing about it is, I don't think Robin dislikes her. I think Robin just is following Giselle. I don't think Robin dislikes Monique. I just don't think Robin knows how to operate outside of Giselle's approval.
Right.
But that's also going to be her downfall.
It damn sure is, because just let me tell you something. I can't wait for the season where the rift is between Robin and Giselle, and it's coming. It's coming.
Mm-hmm. In season 2, they tried to stir some stuff up between the two of them, but Giselle managed to bring Robin back over to the dark side. They tried to create some tension there with Charisse. I think Charisse was telling Robin some stuff that Giselle said about her, but it just didn't.
And remember that time when Giselle came to Robin's open house and showed out, or whatever. You know, she showed out, but you know, Robin went easy on her instead of getting her ass together, and Giselle gave her some cacamamie ass apology, and she, you know, fell right back in line. But it's gonna happen.
Oh yeah, it's coming. So speaking of relationships, we touched on this earlier. Juan and Robin, along with their sons and her parents, go out for a bowling night, and he tells them that they're going to propose. He's going to propose to Robin. We talked about this. And her parents were like, girl, we know about your IRS debt. We don't care. So let's just go ahead and move on to Wendy's wine and politics event. So Candiace arrives in a pair of stilettos, complete with ostrich feathers glued on her back, right? Did y'all see that?
I didn't catch the feathers.
Feather duster.
Robin shows up in a dollar store wig, I guess hiding out from the IRS. Who knows what's going on with her? And the event starts. The event goes off pretty well. You know, Wendy does what she does with her politics talk and all this other stuff, trying to make herself look smart or whatever. And after the event, over in a corner, they all sit down and talk to Ashley. And they accuse Ashley of blindly taking Monique's side. But Ashley reminds them, she says, look, when Michael was going through the butt-grabbing scandal, Monique and Chris stood by our sides. Then they use that to say that Monique has the video of Michael grabbing the producer's butt, but she hid it to protect Michael. That's how they flipped it. I mean, let's dive into that. Let's talk about that. Richie, what are your thoughts?
I just feel like it's just another weak way for them to try to discredit Ashley's friendship with Monique, because I feel like they want Ashley to submit to their will as well and to distance herself from Monique. I think that's all it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Q, your thoughts?
I agree. I totally agree.
Mm-hmm. I totally agree with you. I mean, again, it's a repeat every single week. They are trying to bully Ashley and Karen into submission of joining Candiace's side and not filming with Monique. They're just doing the most, and every week is the repeat of the same thing. Amir, what are your thoughts? We were talking about them cornering Ashley and trying to convince her that Monique's a monster.
I just felt like, why do they need to poison one of her allies? Like, she has one ally. Like, why? I just felt like, why do you need to like turn her onto your side? Like, listen, categorically, everyone knows it's wrong to put hands on people, but it happened. Like, stop trying to like make her an ally, like of Candiace, where again, and I love that Ashley said it. She's like, me and Candiace are not that close. Like, we don't get along. Like, I'm good with Monique, and she's right. I mean, whether or not Monique has the footage, she could have been like, cut off Ashley and said, your husband embarrassed me in my house. I don't know. Like, she could have been a lot worse about it. She wasn't.
But how would Monique have the footage that Bravo filmed?
Right.
I'm guessing
in her cameras,
maybe.
Yeah.
Her security.
Maybe they've been off her home security cameras, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Okay. But she said numerous times that they don't have cameras in the basement. She said, and that's where the situation took place.
Listen, again, going back to that commitment to disliking Monique, it don't matter what Ashley would have said. Ashley could have given them the most bona fide reason, and they still would have picked it apart a million ways because they have just made a commitment to not liking her. And I just don't understand how a group of people wake up and operate under the agenda of just not liking. It just feels weird to me, the whole group think. It just feels very high schoolish to me. Mm-hmm. It's baseless. Mm-hmm. And the thing about it is, like, case in point, DJ Richie Sky is a really good friend of mine. But bitch, I'm not finna get involved with your drama and bring your dislikes and take on somebody that you dislike that ain't did nothing to me. I don't have time for that. And I don't understand how they do either. To just be beefing for somebody else's beef. Like, it's stupid. Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't think they're really friends. I think that's the issue. Like, I think you and Richie are actually friends. I think these people are coworkers. I think sometimes we forget, right? With housewives, we're like, why are they saying that? Why? I think it's like you're pushed. When you don't like someone, like, let's say you don't get along with someone, you choose not to film, like, be around them, but you can't not film with them. So it creates this issue that, like, which is one of the reasons why I've never done a reality show. I don't want to do one, is because of that. Like, you're forced to get along with people that you don't want to be around and you think they suck, and you have to go to lunch with them and talk about the weather. Like, I just can't. Like, it's just too hard for me. But it seems like they're doing it. Seems like they can do it. So
yeah. So let's dive into Candiace and Karen's little showdown with Wendy joining them, right? Karen reminds Candiace that just a couple of seasons ago, she was in Candiace's corner, even when she didn't agree with some of her behaviors. And I'm loving the grown auntie role that Karen is playing. She's embracing it. Her age, her wisdom, the knowledge, the power, it's unmatched. And she's being sensible. And she's like, look, I'm just not going to take sides. And y'all not going to force me to take sides. Mm-hmm. And then Wendy jumps in like a damn banshee and her eyes get big. And she's like, Karen, here's the problem. Monique did. And she's like, I know what Monique did. I've held Monique accountable. I've spoken to Monique. I've held her accountable for her behavior. I'm not protecting Monique. And they're still going on. And then she calls Wendy ignorant. Her eyes got real big and she kind of shut up. And I was surprised she didn't have a retaliation for that. Because, she got 4 degrees. You're not going to call her ignorant and get away with it. So let's dive into it.
At the end of the day, they knew Karen was telling the truth. Like, did you look at the look of defeat on Candiace's face? Because see, Candiace thought she was saying something to Karen. She thought she was getting Karen ass together. And then Karen said, whoa. Well, here's all the things I did for you. And Candiace literally had to sit there and take that one on the chin. Because yes, just last season, you were the one that everybody was annoyed with and so on and so forth. And she provided the same level of support and didn't turn on you and took you in as a big aunt. And again, I just think it's wrong. Like I said, it's all right for you to dislike me, but don't go trying to corral other people to join your cause of dislike against me. And that's what Candiace seems to be doing. And it's not fair. But I also get that she's acting out of emotion and she's mad. And when you mad and you want to hurt somebody, you want to hurt them by all means necessary. I definitely get it, but it's not right.
It's coming off real high school, real mean girl, real cliquish. And now the tides are turning because, right after the fight, everyone was like, Monique's wrong. She's this and she's that. But now people are seeing like, Monique is like, you see her being remorseful. She's sad.
Because, and again, Candiace, the only reason why the tide is turning is because Candiace is overplaying her hand. If she truly was the damsel in distress, she should have just left things as they were and let the audience and the other women continue to drive the narrative, but now you with the sticky notes. Now you with the filing charges. Now you trying to have meetings about why you ain't on the hate train with us. You're doing too much. It's disproportionate to what happened. All right, you acting like Monique called her sisters and aunts and they jumped you outside of Kroger. Like, that's just not what happened.
You know, it reminds me. I don't know if y'all saw Tiger King, but it reminds me of what happened with Joe Exotic.
And he went down so obsessed with Carol.
You become so obsessed with taking a person down that you end up taking yourself down.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
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 And then she ends up on Dancing with the Stars.
The grave you was digging for someone else, you dug for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You took it way too far. You know, now the FBI is involved and prosecutors and all this other shit. It's just too much. It is too much. Candiace is just looking for a payday, and in her eyes, Monique is the avenue to that $5 million house that she wants. And it's sad.
For me, though, I'm hoping that this situation died with the judge throwing out both cases. Like, I hope that it died in that very moment. Because for it to play out anymore beyond that, it's just literally a commitment to just being mad about some petty shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I know we all come from different backgrounds, but I can legitimately remember getting in fights with people, and then 2 days later we were back outside playing again. You know what I'm saying? That's just kind of how it goes. Your bruise heals, your boo-boo heals, and y'all come back together, and you now know where boundaries lie. Whatever you did to make that person punch you, don't do it again, and vice versa.
Exactly.
Right. Yep. Oh my goodness. And then sidebar. So after that argument takes place, Giselle her ears are perked up because Wendy told her that Karen paid off Ray's taxes. So in the preview for the next episode, we see Giselle stroking Karen's arm, telling her, I want to be friends with you. I want our friendship back.
Oh God.
It's a setup. It's a setup. Run, Karen.
I don't understand why a wife jumping in and paying the business taxes for her husband or vice versa is even tea, because we're married. So it's all our money, and it's all going to affect us either way. That's what you do when you're in a marriage. So I'm not understanding why that's
She's
tea.
concerned about Karen paying her husband's taxes. Meanwhile, your buddy, your BFF, owes $90K to the IRS. Why don't we talk about that? Right. You notice nobody's talking about that, right?
Shouldn't even talk about that.
How much was Ray's taxes, out of curiosity? Does anyone know?
It was in the six figures. It was high. It was in the six figures. It was, I think, over like $250,000, I believe, or more. Yeah, it was a lot of money. Yeah. So Daniva, so that wraps up the episode, but I want to dive into Cynthia's wedding. You attended. I was so proud. You looked real nice in your red bottoms.
So Monica, in all fairness, and I've said this before in one of my videos, that her wedding is not my story to tell. And I was invited as a friend, so I don't feel it's right to be there and dish on it as a blogger and turn it into something that's tea worthy, and just in respect of our friendship. But what I will say is it was a very nice wedding. We had a really good time. Nene Leakes was not there. The Bravo cameras did not film the actual wedding ceremony. I think as a result of the backlash for her having that 250 person wedding and COVID, that they did film. They were there, but they just filmed like the stuff in the bridal quarters and stuff. And from what I hear, Cynthia is going to sell them her wedding footage from her actual videographer that was used. And it was just a very nice wedding. You know, it really ain't nothing to, even if I did want to dish the tea, it really is nothing to dish. Like nothing happened. Y'all know who all was there. And it was just a nice wedding.
It looked like a nice wedding. It really did. Last night, Andy Cohen talked about it on Watch What Happens Live when he asked Giselle and about people wearing masks. So we know like that was like a little point of contention with Bravo not filming the event, you know.
Well, I think that came off of the heels of Wendy Williams doing that story that she did calling about Cynthia's wedding. That was a couple of days before the wedding. I will say this, when Cynthia called me and invited me to the wedding, she let it be known that, you know, it is COVID, that we are taking extra precautions. When we got to the wedding venue, they had sanitation stations set up all over the place. When you signed in, you had the option of getting a face mask, a face shield, and or both. And they also gave you a couple packets of Purcell. We had disposable dineware. There were 6 feet only signs on the ground at the bar and at the photo booth. And let's face it, you know, most places in the country are at the phase 3 and phase 4 level of this COVID situation. It is not Cynthia Bailey and Mike Hill's responsibility to protect your health. It's your responsibility to do that. So they simply invited you to the wedding. They didn't make you come. You know what I'm saying? For those who thought it was a problem or high risk, you know, they did not make you come. So
That's true.
I hate how it was like, oh, she threw this COVID super spreader event. She did not make you come. We all came at our own risk. And I do it again. It was a very good wedding, and I was so happy to be a part of it.
You look really nice too.
Thank you.
I was like, wow, he cleans up nice. The red bottoms, your tux. I was like, you go, Doniva. I was so proud and happy for you. Kathy, thank you so much for the $9.99. Where is women empowerment that Wendy is screaming? Wendy is such a hypocrite. How about holding Candiace accountable for verbally and emotionally abusing Ashley and Monique and Karen? Good point. All right, y'all, let's take some calls. I'm going to add Cherry Lynn to the stream. Hey, Cherry Lynn.
Hi.
Hey, Cherry.
How are you guys?
We're good.
Good.
Okay. You know, I'm going to just jump in. First, I want to say, well, you guys know I always come at you from an older person's perspective because that's where I'm at in my life. I'm going to tell you guys, I have so many nieces and nephews. My own blood nieces and nephews, I don't even hear their voice anymore. When I hear auntie, I just turn and look. It could be anybody. I just turn and look. So what I'm going to say is this. Karen is being 100% real. When you you got to remember, Karen is like 57, 58. You have to be able to counsel people and not take sides. It's just that simple. I'm going to tell each individual niece, nephew, listen, no, you're not right. Now, am I not going to say, girl, but did you drag her? That's all part of it. You still guide and just, you don't get in the middle. Yeah. And the way they're trying to push her is frustrating as hell to me. I'm like, why are they trying to make her choose a side? And I agree with you, Richie. I kind of think they just want her to say, I'm not going to record or do any scenes with her because this is what they want. It doesn't matter what all of them want. It matters to Karen at this point in her life. I can guarantee you guys what matters to Karen is that when she walks away from it spiritually, she knows she did what was right. All that mess that they're doing. And I love how Karen put Wendy in her place. I was like, thank you. Because what is Wendy? She don't even know the full story between all of the women. She just came in. Don't insert yourself into everybody's business, boo-boo. You already have your own business. You don't need to pick up none of this. You can be spending your time letting us get to see more about you, more about what you have to offer. Show us what you're going to do with this platform instead of trying to instigate bull. This is what's frustrating to me at this point. And Funky Doniva, I'm so agree with you. If nothing else, when And they better show the court documents. You hear me? They better.
Yeah.
Because after those documents, after that judge says, listen, I'm throwing all this out, I don't want to hear no more about it.
I agree.
It needs to be done. Anytime it's brought back up, I would show an image of the court documents. Like, this is over with. According to the courts, it's over with. So according to this, we're done.
Exactly.
I also wanted to say, Giselle trying to comfort Karen is not going to work. You made a mockery of my tax situation. Why would you think I'm going to come and talk to you about it afterwards? It's not going to happen, boo-boo. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to discuss nothing with you. I'm going to say hi, I'm going to say bye, and I'm going to keep acting like we're friends on this TV show.
Right.
But I'm not going to discuss nothing personal with you because you've already shown me you don't care.
And all she's going to do is whatever you tell her, run back to the group and make it gossip.
Right.
And keep all of everything away from her.
She loves indulging in people's business publicly and making it, fodder for gossip, which is not cool. That's not a friendly thing to do, to embarrass your friends behind their back.
Yeah. She's dead wrong. She is dead wrong on so many different levels that other people and people in the chat are not going to be agreeing with, but she's wrong on so many different levels. And Giselle is not no spring chicken. She needs to be held accountable too. So when people use that term, hold this person accountable, you better know what the definition is, because if I'm holding you accountable, I'm going to hold her accountable. I'm going to hold him accountable. I'm holding everybody accountable then. And y'all ain't going to be happy because I'll start calling everything.
Right. Yep. Speak on it.
That's all, Monica.
Thank you, honey. We always appreciate you calling in and keeping it real.
Definitely.
Yep. You have a great day. Bye.
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 I'm going to add Jane to the stream. Hi, Jane.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, Jane.
Hey.
I just want to pile on the Giselle train, because if you guys remember 2 weeks ago at Karen's house when they all confronted Monique, Giselle said, I told my daughters about what happened last night, and my daughter said to not hang out with you. Yet your daughters told you to not hang out with Jamal, their father. And yet you still do so.
Yeah.
So you are such a hypocrite for doing that.
Yeah.
That's just another layer of hypocrisy that I don't think has enough discussion. So if she wants to be Jamal's wife, if she wants to be Jamal's Uber driver to the airport, if she wants to be a mother, if she wants to be Real Housewife of Potomac, she can do whatever she wants. I'm glad that she's career minded, but that's just my 2 cents.
Not his Uber driver. Yes.
She really is his chauffeur. I mean, it's crazy. Not even a little bit. Thank you, honey. We appreciate you calling in.
Thank you. See you next week.
See you next week. Have a great day. Bye. I'm going to add
does he not have a driver's license or what? Do we know?
I mean, this must be the only time she could spend with him, because we don't ever see him anyplace else, right?
Oh, yep.
Hi, April. April, you're on mute.
She on mute.
She on mute, girl.
I'm acting like Robin, waiting on Giselle for guidance. I don't unmute myself. I just want to say it's really sad that Giselle continues to show up to events dressing in the dark, putting together colors that aren't coordinated, mixing and matching. I don't understand. There's a staff, there's a team of people. Why isn't anyone helping her? I'm tired of seeing that. Giselle and Jamal act like cousins. I get cousins, your summer friend from band camp, energy from them. It's just not there. Jamal gives me, I'm waiting to open this bussy when I get back to Atlanta energy. I don't buy it. I'm not seeing it. And
April.
And Robin and these about to get her tanzanite zirconia structure. Listen, just don't even do it. Like, let's just go to the courthouse,
and be
sign off,
done with it.
and be done. Like, y'all been shacking up for decades.
Right.
They desperately wanted to have the ring scene that so many housewives have, and I was like, Morgan night, I had to go to damn Siri and say, what the fuck is this? I'd rather get a small diamond than some shit I've never heard of. That, I say, you better leave that hoe where she is and just give me a 1 carat, bitch. Go to Katie's or Zales. That lady, and did y'all see her face when they said, oh, well, our budget is, she looked like, y'all got this damn production crew here and y'all ain't got no goddamn money. She looked disgusted. Let me go in the basement and see what bullshit I got for y'all.
April, you are tickling me, bitch.
So, them and this tanzanite and morganite.
She said, I'd rather have 1 carat of a diamond than some shit I don't know. I know that's right.
Okay, with the Ricky Tikki Tavi ring, I was just like, please miss me with that. But on the real tip, Candiace needs to understand that Giselle and Robin and Wendy, maybe Wendy, but Giselle and Robin don't give a flying fuck about her.
Mm-hmm.
It's all art of war. This is so Sun Tzu. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. Mm-hmm. Bitch, as soon as y'all stop filming with Monique, as soon as she leaves the show, you're next, Candiace. So you might as well get in position, secure the wig, because they're gonna yank you from left and right. And I think Richie, you're right. Robin is just like Teddy. Amir said it too. She's a snooze fest. As soon as Jim Henson, her puppeteer, moves on to something else, or she moves to Real Housewives of Atlanta, Robin will, you know the meme where the dude does the peace sign and he vanishes? That's Robin. Forgetful. So I'm ready for them they need more housewives. We need new housewives. I mean, if you spice it up with some Zatarans, I want a hood housewife from straight DMV to come in that rags to riches to get it popping.
Yeah.
Like, let's shake it up because you know it's a lot of brokies on here. We need some more women that's actually in Potomac, you know, to sprinkle it up. But I love all y'all. Q is a fantastic addition. This has been, I've got my life this whole panel.
Thank you so much, April. You've tickled me, baby.
I love y'all.
We love you too. You're amazing. Thank you, April. Bye, honey. Bye. I'm sorry. I'm going to add PC to the stream.
Hi.
Hey, PC.
Hi. I love you all. You're all awesome.
Love you too.
So, firstly, I'm wearing this. But I'm okay. Okay. I'm wearing this piece because, you know, it's not really work appropriate, but I wore it last year for my birthday. Had fun. And it really shows you who are really down for you. I had a coworker. She was like, all right, this is all fun and stuff like that, but girl, that's not your wig. She just told me straight up, this don't look good on you. That's not your look. So, you know, that's why I wore this, but I'm a natural.
Okay.
I like the natural.
Oh, thank you.
Beautiful.
So the wig shaming, they were not here for Robin at all. You can't even tell the child that her wig is jacked up.
That wig was horrible.
It was ugly. It was hideous. Giselle. Now, Jane mentioned Giselle telling the ladies that, you know, she spoke to her daughters about what happened with the girls, Monique and Candiace. I don't believe that because they would have showed it. They would have showed it. Her kids are very outspoken. Her kids are smarter than her. You know, I'm not worried about them kids. They got a good head on their shoulders somehow, some way. Only Jesus. Okay.
Yeah. And it's not natural. It's not natural. I don't know what parent comes home and discuss with their children what she and her girlfriends did while they were out. Parents don't do
Right.
that.
They don't do that.
But
And the kids don't care
not
either.
so
The kids
soon.
don't even care. The kids don't even care. They don't even hear.
Yeah.
Like,
is that, and you wouldn't talk about to them about that kind of stuff right then. Not having the full amount of information to have a decent conversation to teach your kids what's right and wrong. You know what I'm saying? Because the only reason why you would have that conversation is to give education to your children. So in the future, they can learn from this situation and not have that in their own future, you know? The bullying and the badgering. Yeah, I wrote notes. The bullying, you know, Giselle likes notes. I like them too.
Okay.
But the bullying and the badgering with the ladies towards Karen and Ashley, it's like school, peer pressure, right? But you can't peer pressure grown ass women. Like, where you think, like, why are you continuing this conversation that's not gonna? It's the song that never ends, right? I mean, shut up. Oh my goodness. Oh, and the final note. Basically, Bravo is not putting enough information out there. They're not using this platform to talk about anger issues and issues of, if you don't take care of this problem, what it can lead to. Because Monique is not the only one with anger issues out in this world and stuff like that. I'm glad I got on with you all today, because I would like them to put more emphasis on this problem. I'm one of the people with the damn problem. And it's not fun and stuff like that. No one with anger issues wants to have a fight. You know what I'm saying? It's hard on you mentally, it's hard on you physically. You know, I already told my family, like, some situations happened and they had to up my meds to keep me under control. I have to be controlled by meds.
Mm-hmm.
It's ridiculous. It's not a life to live. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's a dangerous situation, because once you pop off, and my pop off is physical. I'm not a verbal person. My pop off is physical, and so
right.
I'm always fighting to control myself. And they, you know, if they had this conversation, I bet more people with this situation would see themselves on these screens and be like, I need to go get help. I need to talk to somebody. I need to figure out what has happened in my past to make me this way.
Yeah.
And you catch it early enough, you can save other people from having to be medicated.
Absolutely.
I do not
Amen.
like.
Amen.
It's ridiculous how much medicine. I had to call the ambulance one night, and the guys are like, "How old are you?" I'm just like 37. He's like, "You're way too young to have all these meds and stuff." He's shaking the bag and shit. I'm just like,
wow.
Yeah.
No, they need to, because what we got, Monique. Prior to her, we had who I saw represented me was Portia, because that whole waving of the scepter and the blowhorn and stuff like that, and we were taught as a kid not to be loud in people's ears. You can damage people's eardrums, and you know, chick is too damn grown for this shit.
Honey, you have a lot of good content to share. Stay on the line. My backstage is getting filled up, but don't go anywhere. I'm gonna bring you back, okay, hon?
Okay.
I'm gonna bring Dee on. Hey, Dee.
Hey, how are you guys?
Hi.
Hey, honey.
Hi, Funky Geneva. Are you on a business call? What is going on?
Funky don't care, honey. Just
you get them points. Get them points. I don't care. This show is so boring. I don't care. I don't care about much. I'm wearing a Christmas shirt right now. That's how much I care. I don't know. I'm so over. I don't know. COVID. Everything is just got me all messed up. You know.
I get it.
This is all I need to do laundry. This is what I had. I was like, you know what? Whatever. I'm gonna wear it. Nobody sees me.
Christmas is good. It'll be Christmas soon. What day is it today? October something, right? 20 something.
Yeah, it's the 20. I don't know what is it. The 26th. But a couple of things about last night's episode. I thought it was kind of boring. I don't know what you guys thought, but I did think it was. Was it? First of all, was it yesterday? Was
yesterday?
It was yesterday, honey. Yeah.
Thank you, honey. I thought it was kind of boring. And again, with the whole tax situation with Robin, you know, we've all had, not everyone, but a lot of us have had issues with finances. So that, you know, I feel for her, but I think that that's something that is relatable.
Mm-hmm.
It's really something people go through. And am I echoing?
Yeah, you are.
I don't have any other thing open.
You're back.
I'm back. Okay. And then the other thing, people were talking about Wendy's financial student loan situation. Well, she's got like what, 4 or 5 degrees?
Mm-hmm.
Something like that, right? 4. I mean, so $1.5 million, that is a lot of money. I don't know if she's doing income-based repayment plans, but probably not. I don't know if they do that for that much money. But that's another storyline they can kind of talk about, just what it's like to be a professional and how she's working on getting all that debt taken care of. Again, that's relatable. And unless people don't want to watch that, you know, that might not be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Bravo's a bit aspirational. That might be too real.
Yeah, absolutely. Dee, my love, thank you for calling in today.
It's great seeing you guys. Hi, Funky Denise.
Hi,
I love you.
I love you more. Thank you.
Bye. Have a great week. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
I'm going to add Bernice before we get out of here. Hey, Bernice.
Hey, Funky, how you doing?
Bernice, turn the volume up on your phone or whatever it is a little louder, or speak into the.
You hear me now?
Better, yeah.
The show was boring. Really, it was. It was a filler show. It was a filler show.
Love her.
No, it wasn't, because the Jamal and whatever, Giselle, they didn't show no emotion.
That's
he got in that car, he put on his seatbelt, and he held on to that handle for dear life. I mean, they wasn't showing no emotion. He didn't touch her like, baby, how you doing? Nothing. It was no emotional context. And then when he tried to use his pimp pastor logic on her, I'm looking at her like, what the hell? I'm like, she said, well, I want to go further. And then he started counseling her like, damn, Giselle, and you should know this man. You was married to him for how long?
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't know the tricks of the trade, nobody know the tricks of the trade.
Mm-hmm.
So that further tells me this is not a real relationship. And then when you get out the car and did that fake hug, like, okay, woo, side. It wasn't you didn't give him no tongue. You didn't kiss him on the mouth. You know, come on, show some emotion, show some affection. Like, come on.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
you've been giving them that tongue, huh, Bernice?
Exactly. You know, if I'm gonna be on the camera, I'm gonna give you a show. Come on.
Mm-hmm.
And this narrative with Candiace, the forever victim, and get Karen to come to her side. Like, no, he said, I told her she was wrong, and I told you was wrong. So. And then here come your big bad wolf, Wendy. Wendy has several streets. You new to the crew. You just going by what Candiace told you about them. But you don't know the inner workings of their relationship. So you need to have a seat. Why you keep telling her that you need to be accountable?
Dog is so cute.
I made her accountable. Well, you haven't done it to my satisfaction. Go sit your little self down. That's what it comes down to. Y'all want to completely cut her out and make her lose money. That's what it comes down to. It's all about the money. And when Giselle wanted to talk to Karen about her taxes, Karen should come back. Let's talk about how you're gonna help your husband and his child support. Boom boom.
Off.
You know,
he wants kisses.
Helping my son, and you're gonna help him pay all his child support.
Mm-hmm.
So that's I want her to come back with that to shut her up, because Giselle is nobody's friend. She's playing a role, and that's all she got. Because she can't make this fake relationship make me this Jedi mind trick he was giving her, saying that, you know, that this is a real relationship when we all know that it's not. And I'd be glad when the timeline shows that you waited a week after the fight. I'm still mad at you a week later. I'm not going to call you and tell you I'm sorry. It's going to take me 2 weeks to like, okay, to really calm down and like, okay, girl, you know, I'm sorry about what happened. You know, let's talk. So, you know, I'm glad this season is almost over. I'll be glad when it's over. I'm still Team Monique, but they are full of crap. Candiace needs to grow up. She needs to learn how to read her room, because when somebody tell you I'm not feeling you, okay, that means you go over there, I go over here, and we don't talk. So I don't care that you grew up in the suburbs and you used to using your mouth as a weapon, but you're not in the suburbs anymore. You in the real world. So when you go to somebody in the real world and they tell you I'm not in the mood or anything like that, you still coming at me, okay? I'm telling you, I said my piece. That's a warning. Go sit your ass somewhere else and leave me alone. But you're gonna still come at me, you're gonna get the consequences of whatever it is. Either I'm gonna come back at you verbally and hurt you so bad that you're gonna cry, or I'm gonna put my hands on you. It's either that.
I'm with you, Bernice. I'm with you when you're right, baby.
You know, and Funky, I love what you said about Nene earlier. She could have went to Candy and did it at the
some
Candy
help with that.
And did it great. I looked at that looking like, oh really? Oh my God! Like no.
Yeah.
But I know time is going, so it was nice talking to all of y'all. Love you all, and I'll see y'all next week.
Love you too. Thank you so much, Bernice.
Bye, Bernice.
Bye, honey. Have a great week. All right, y'all. Thank y'all so much. We're going to end the show today. Moderators, thank you for doing a wonderful job and keeping the crowd at the door under control. Y'all are great at crowd control. Richie, how can they find you?
Everything DJ Richie Sky, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube.
Dineva, how can they find you?
All things Funky Dineva. YouTube is Miss Funky. Not YouTube. Instagram is Miss Funky Dineva. MS Funky Dineva. But you just put in Funky Dineva in all places, and I come up.
Amir, how can they find you?
Amir Yas Official on Instagram and TikTok, and then I'm also on Cameo. If you want me to send some crazy message to your friend, I'll do it.
Does that pay, Amir?
I mean, I don't charge very much, but I mean, I do it like a bunch of times a day. So if you do, like, if you up your, I'm cheap, honey. I'm $5, but if you can do it like for $50, and you'll make good money.
I'm gonna have to get on the Cameo. Okay,
try it
for real.
Both of y'all should try it. You can do
Richie
a lot.
is such a businessman. I'm telling you, this boy don't play.
Write that number. Write that down.
Write it down, girl. Write it down.
Dineva, you need an OnlyFans, though. I think you would do real good in OnlyFans.
Girl, Monica, get off my line. Get off my line.
Just this pose right now. I mean, all you got to do is this. Get on there.
Lord have mercy.
Spill the tea with your foot up.
I don't got real comfortable laying in the bed. Lord have mercy.
Listen, comfort on OnlyFans, that'll do well. And you don't have to show anything. People are making money not even showing anything.
That's true.
I don't even want my name associated with onlyfans.com.
All right.
Y'all finna get in here and go down to the bar with a Honda Cosby.
Dineva, thank you so much for showing up today and showing out and just being the fabulous YouTube extraordinaire that you are. We just appreciate it. We had a blast.
I enjoyed this. Thank you. And anytime I'm here.
Awesome. Thank you. And to everyone that joined the chat today, we love you all. Thank you so much. And we'll see y'all next week. Bye.
Bye everyone.
Bye, y'all.